Beyond chivalry, beyond holding open doors and buying flowers and chocolates and whispering sweet nothings into your ear, what are the signs that a man is seriously into you? Signs that are harder to fake than some of these superficial things that might just be his attempt to reel you in and catch you, and then poof, all of a sudden these things vanish once he's got you. Be sure to stay till the end, because the last point that we have for you is probably the most important point of them all, but it'll seem like a contradiction at first. Let's dive in.
So the first thing a man will do when he is in love with you, when he wants to spend life with you, when he is into you, is he'll make it an effort to see you. Nothing is going to stand in the way. Let me tell you, one of the things I experienced in some of my past relationship. Listen, I was in a relationship with a so-called Christian, okay? Someone who called himself a believer. He was all about his walk according to him, okay? When this guy and I started talking, he was putting on, his best self. He was showing me that, hey, V, I like you, this, and that. And as the relationship went on, I realized that he was being distanced. When I'll call his phone, sometimes he will not pick up. He would take 2 days to call me back, and he would tell me, oh, I was doing this, and there was always excuses upon excuses. And I knew there was issues going on, but I was choosing to ignore those issues because I liked him, so I was ignoring the red flags. After not hearing from him from like a week or two, I would still talk to him when he called. I want to see you, I would still go see him and stuff like that. All those were red flags to me, showing that, okay, this guy was not into me. Because a man that really cares, a man that really loves you, will make it an effort to see you. When you call him, he will pick up. When you tell him, I need this, he will come and help you with it. The whole thing about it is that he will show up. He will show you that, hey, listen, even though I'm busy, I'm here for you when you need me. And regardless of everything I have going on in my life, you are a priority. And unfortunately for me, in my past relationship, I did not see it, and I chose to ignore those signs.
In contrast, we had 2,300 plus miles separating each other, my wife and I, when we met, and we met long distance online. And within a month or two, I had bought a plane ticket and I flew all the way across the country to meet this wonderful woman who is now my wife. And by experience, I can tell you that I wouldn't have done that if I wasn't completely serious and completely into this woman. Another sign that this guy is seriously into you is that he's willing to compromise. He's willing to meet you in the middle sometimes. And it doesn't mean that this guy is a pushover, far from it. You want a man of strength and who believes in something foundationally, but he's also someone who is willing to hear your side when he's perhaps in somewhat of a disagreement with you and might have a slightly different point of view and hear you out and think about it and reason with you about it. And sometimes when he realizes, okay, I see your point of view, and perhaps he still isn't entirely convinced, but he's willing to make a compromise because you feel strongly about said thing, and this will maintain peace, this will encourage your relationship to grow and to flourish. And really, at the end of the day, it's about loving one another. And as long as it's not, overstepping the boundaries of fundamental beliefs that you cannot budge on, being able to compromise is a vital quality to have if you want to have a lasting relationship, and definitely a sign that this guy is seriously into you. Because if he's not, then it's just going to be his way or the highway, right?
Yeah. So another sign that shows that he is into you and wants to spend life with you is that he makes plans with you. When Ted and I got together, some of the things that really reassured me that, okay, this relationship had a future was that we made plans together. We talked about his journey as a writer and where he wanted to go with that. And I talked about my career as a journalist, and now, I have other ambitions that I'm trying to chase. But we talked about all those things that solidify the foundation of our relationship.
So if this guy is just fly by night and he's just moment by moment and real casual, and whenever you talk about anything that might indicate a plan, he kind of changes the subject or he's wishy-washy about it, might be an indication that maybe he's not as serious about you as you may think he is. And by the way, what is the most serious plan that a man and a woman can have together? Marriage.
Yes.
If he shies away from the plan of marriage, the idea of marriage, moving toward marriage, beware. This guy might not be the one for you. It's possible that he may need a little bit of time to have that sink in. That might only be natural. But if this is a consistent thing, you've been with him for a while and he just never wants to talk commitment, never wants to talk plans, never wants to talk future, he may just be along for the ride and trying to look for a good time with you. And the next point that we have for you is that he has seen the real you, the ugly you. You've opened yourself up to him about things you're ashamed of, your past, things that you have kept secret from others. And guess what? He's not only accepted you, he's still there. He's still willing to journey with you. And as a matter of fact, your flaws actually make you more attractive to him because he realizes that you trust him enough to open up about your imperfections. And we all have them. We're so used to wearing masks so that we'll be accepted. But one of the ironies of true relationships, true love, is that it's when you take those masks off and you reveal your scars that something beautiful really begins to occur. Something far deeper than just a superficial infatuation or something like that, but a real bedrock love can start to develop. So being able to pull that mask aside, be honest with someone, and have that someone stick around with you and say, hey, I'm not going to leave your side. Hey, I know you've been through the trenches. Hey, I know you've messed up, so have I. Let's go forward together. Let's journey together. Let's grow together. Let's get better together. Let's get stronger and pursue our destinies together. That is a man that guaranteed is serious about you, and he's not just playing games.
Another thing that will show that he wants you and cares for you is if he makes you feel considered. When a man cares about your opinions, when a man cares about your thoughts, your desires, so on and so forth. There are men that when you are in a relationship with them will tell you to be quiet. They don't want to hear what you have to say. They don't care about your feelings. They don't care about your opinions. Those are red flags. But when a man truly cares for you, he will want to hear what you have to say. He will value everything that comes out of your mouth. When you are in a conversation with a group of friends, he will not belittle you. He will not silence you. He will allow you to talk. He will not undermine what you are trying to say. Those things are so important. And so if a man wants you, he will allow you to flourish. So keep an eye out for this particular sign.
The Bible talks about being equally yoked, and we bring it up over and over and over again on this channel because it's so important. Being equally yoked in the sense that you don't want to be pulling against one another, you want to be pulling together. Too often the Bible is interpreted that since man is the head of the household, right, that the woman, as long as she is being subservient to what he wants, then we can say that we are equally yoked and pulling together, right? But really what it is the man gets everything he wants and doesn't listen to the wife at all, and we're equally yoked because she submits 100%, doesn't have a voice, is silenced, and so we're pulling together. That's an absolutely incorrect way of viewing it. And so if he is willing to consider your point of view, if he is willing to listen to your point of view, if he values your perspective and wants to know how you feel, is interested in listening to what you have to say, then that actually is truly pulling together and being equally yoked.
And overall, all these signs we've talked about, him being a good listener, he showing up for you, he making plans with you, telling you that he loves you, he cares, all these signs leads to one thing, which is commitment. When a man is willing to commit with you, commitment in marriage, commitment during your courtship, commitment when you have children, commitment when you build a business together, commitment when it comes to your individual life in general, when a man is willing to commit to you and commit to these things, then that man is for you, and that man truly wants to spend the rest of his life with you.
Commitment. Not being afraid to say, this is where I stand, this is where I place my flag, this is my hill, and I'm going to claim it, and I'm going to die here. That's a man who has been around the block. That's a man who has done some introspection. That's a man who has done some character development and who has looked inside and has decided, this is what I truly believe in. And so having that self-awareness is super important. So a man of character. Now, we promised you that we had one we want to call maybe a bonus indication that this man is serious about you that may seem like a contradiction to everything that we've said, but truly, actually, it's not. It ties right into what we were just talking about a man having character and being matured in some of the most important ways. And that is, ironically, look for an indication that this guy isn't trying to develop his entire world around you. We'll camp on that for just a second, because it seems like that flies in the face of everything we just said, but it doesn't. If this guy is going to wrap his entire identity and his world around you, that's an indication that he hasn't done this introspection. He hasn't grown. He hasn't developed in character. And actually, he doesn't have the masculine traits that truly attract women. Because a woman who sees, and she'll see it a mile away, that this guy is clingy, this guy needs you, I need you, I need you. And if you leave me, I won't know what to do with myself. It's actually very off-putting. It's the opposite of attractive. What you want is to look for a man who wants to journey with you. His identity is wrapped up in his dreams, in his ambitions, in his belief system, and bettering himself. And he has a vision. My wife and I, when we met, again, we were talking about our plans, right? What do we want in life? What are we after in life? These can be character things. These can be career things. These can be spiritual things, faith-driven things. Where do we want to get with God? And all of these things, those are things that are bigger than ourselves, that you build a life on. Those are things that will stand the test of time. And if the two of you can equally pulling and get behind something like that and go down a road together, you will stand the test of time and nothing will move you.
Beautifully said. One of the things that I've always been afraid of was a man who didn't know who he was or where he was going. That has been my biggest fear, because like I am old-fashioned, and I will always be. I believe in the man leading the home. I believe in the man being the head of household. And so if I make a decision to be with a man and that man does not have a vision, that man, starts shaking in the midst of adversity, start, trembling when he should be the strength of the family, that fear comes on me. I'm like, oh, what did I sign up for? And so when you are going to a relationship, make sure you know exactly who the person is, what his strengths are, what his weaknesses are. We are supposed to be the helper to the man, and that is what we are designed for, and that is what we should do. And so if your man, the person you are married to, the person you are in a relationship with, needs the support, you see that they need the push, the support, then you as the helper, you stand firm and you support them and push them up, But if you have to be the one to carry the man, do all that can be exhausting. And on that note, thank you so much for watching today's video. Don't forget to like and to subscribe, and please share our videos. We are trying to get to 7,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you next week with a new video. Bye bye.
Thanks very much. See you next time.
See you next time.